What if I told you a creature frozen during the last ice age, while mammoths and saber-tooths roamed the earth, just woke up and started cloning itself? Sounds like a sci-fi horror plot, right? Well, it's 100% real. Scientists have revived a microscopic animal that's been asleep in the Siberian permafrost for 24,000 years. And what happens next could change our understanding of life, aging, maybe even space travel. Let's dive in, because this tiny creature could teach us how to cheat death itself. Welcome to InnerLightWorld, the place where we break down the wildest true science stories with zero hype and 100% real research. Today we're talking about a tiny survivor called a Bdelloid Rotifer, a creature so resilient it's rewriting what we know about life on Earth. But don't be fooled by its size. This story has huge implications for humans too. So grab a coffee and stick with me. By the end, you'll never look at ice or your own lifespan the same way again. Discovery. All right, here's how this incredible discovery went down. In 2021, Russian scientists drilling 11 feet down into ancient permafrost in northeastern Siberia uncovered these frozen Bdelloid rotifers. Now, these creatures aren't new. They were first spotted back in 1696 under primitive microscopes. They're tiny, smaller than the width of a human hair, and they live mostly in freshwater ponds, puddles, even moss around the world. What's new is that these guys were frozen solid for 24,000 years. And when scientists carefully thawed them out in the lab, they didn't just twitch, they came back to life. They moved, they ate, they cloned themselves by laying eggs. No mate required. That's not science fiction. It's peer-reviewed, published in Current Biology, and verified by labs across Europe and the US. The science, how do they do it? So, how does a creature survive? The secret is cryptobiosis. Think of it like hitting pause on life. When conditions get brutal, freezing, drying out, radiation, Bdelloid rotifers shut down their metabolism to almost zero. No heartbeat, no brain activity, just frozen cells, perfectly intact. When things warm up and there's water again, boom, they hit play. This isn't unique to rotifers. Some of you might have heard of tardigrades or water bears. Same deal. In 2007, the European Space Agency literally blasted tardigrades into space, unprotected. They survived the vacuum, cosmic radiation, and freezing temperatures. When they came back, they woke up and laid eggs like nothing happened. NASA actually uses these tiny survivors to study what life might look like on other planets, or how humans might survive long space journeys someday. US connection. Yes, this matters to America. And here's the twist. This isn't just a quirky Siberian headline. In the US, labs at NASA, Harvard, and the University of Minnesota study rotifers, tardigrades, and other extremophiles to unlock secrets of extreme survival. Why? Because if we can understand how these tiny animals survive being frozen solid, we might learn how to safely freeze and thaw human organs for transplants. That could save thousands of lives every year right here in the States. Right now, doctors lose donated organs because they can't stay viable long enough to reach patients in time. But imagine if hearts, livers, or kidneys could be stored for months, or even years, thanks to tricks borrowed from a rotifer. It's not just theory. The U.S. Organ Preservation Alliance is pouring millions into this research. Evidence. Is this legit? Okay, let's clear this up. Is this real or internet nonsense? These aren't modern rotifers that crawled into the sample. Scientists radiocarbon dated the soil to confirm it's about 24,000 years old. Give or take a few centuries. Then they sequenced the DNA. The genetic fingerprint matched ancient lineages, not modern pond scum. And the lab conditions? Sterile, controlled, multiple teams peer-reviewed the results. Bottom line, this tiny creature is exactly what they say it is. A frozen survivor from an age when humans were still hunting mammoths with spears. Controversy. Should we be doing this? Of course, anytime you hear revive ancient life, someone's gonna ask, should we be doing this? The big concern isn't rotifers. They can't infect humans. But permafrost also locks up bacteria and viruses we haven't seen in tens of thousands of years. In 2016, an anthrax outbreak in Siberia was linked to a thawed reindeer carcass infected decades earlier. That outbreak hospitalized dozens and killed a child. So when people warn about zombie viruses in melting permafrost, it's not just a sci-fi plot. The CDC and US Army actually research ancient pathogens to prepare for any surprises. So reviving tiny frozen animals? Pretty harmless. But when it comes to ancient bacteria and viruses, we need guardrails. Otherwise, we might unlock more than we bargained. For mystery and what's next. Now here's where it gets really fascinating and controversial. Some scientists want to take what we learn from these survivors and apply it to humans. What if we could turn cryptobiosis into a medical treatment? There's real research happening on using frog genes to help soldiers survive extreme battlefield conditions. And then there's the dream of de-extinction, using frozen DNA to bring back species we wiped out. Companies like Colossal Biosciences, based right in Texas, are trying to revive the woolly mammoth using CRISPR gene editing. But should we bring extinct creatures back or focus on saving the ones that's still here? That's a question only society and you can answer. So what did this 24,000-year-old Rotifer really show us? That life is astonishingly resilient, and that nature has already solved some problems we're just now beginning to understand. Whether it's slowing aging, preserving organs, or surviving the harshest conditions in the universe, maybe the answers are already hidden in nature's tiniest survivors. The real question is, will we use this knowledge wisely or unleash problems we can't control? So what do you think? Should we revive ancient creatures or leave the past buried? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you learned something mind-blowing today, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell. Because at InnerLightWorld, we bring you real stories that change the way you see the world. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.